Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at Aphelian. Aphelian is a geometric sequencer. It's not a sequencer like Stephen thinks that's unpredictable. You control what it does, as you will see. Anyway, so we're going to start with a new project, boing, like this, new session, completely blank session. First thing I'm going to do is change the color scheme to something that I prefer. So I'm going to hit this little I here and choose color palette number 9 because I quite like that one. I'll leave the visualization as plain because that's just the background. Now I know you can see me because it's so bright in here, it's ridiculous because of the stupid sunshine shining through the stupid curtains, which are too light to stop all the sunshine coming through. Right, you have 4 orbits. These orbits are your sequencers. The sequencers produce sound. Now this is an AUV3 as well, so you can get it to control other synths, but I'm going to do it standalone because I prefer it in standalone, to be fair. It has 4 synthesizers, 4 mono synths, right, that you can create sequencers with depending on how these orbits are set. It also has a drum machine. It also has a song mode. At the moment we're in scenes. Everything you do on one particular page, what orbit is switched on, the volume levels, the mixers, everything is saved to scene A. Okay, so we'll get into all of this stuff. If I press play, all you are hearing is orbit number 2, and it's just going around in a circle like this. If I touch the circle, you'll see around this circle there are 2 things moving, and they are the moons. Okay, if we hit this, these are the moons. Okay, the moons control the modulation when you set it up. So at the moment you're hearing no modulation on that sound at all because there is no modulation assigned to that sound. Right, so if that's clear, the moons are what control the modulation. If you have them assigned, of course, you have moon A and moon B. The shapes are how the modulation reacts, just like the shapes of the sequence are how the notes are tracked in the tone map. Okay, so it will all become relatively clear. I'd like to say hello to everyone who's here. Hi Audible Video, hi Colin, hello Joe, hi Synth Video, hi Jade, hi Stephen, and anyone else who may be watching. Right, so this is just one orbit that's running now, and we're looking at the moons. If we tap on here, this is where you can control the speed of moon B and moon A. Now you'll see that moon A is on 1 beat, and you see it's moving really fast like this. Let's take it down to 2 beats and it will slow down. 4 beats. Now this outer moon is moving over 1 bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, like that, right? Let's go back into our control here, and you'll see that the other one is also moving at exactly the same speed, but it's moving in this pattern here. So if I change the pattern of that moon to, so moon B, like this, but we can put it back to what it was, and then you can also control the speed of that moon as well. So now it's even going slower. So let's apply some modulation to that sound. Okay, so this is our basic orbit, the main blue one, and you can see the moons tracking around the outside. They're doing nothing at the moment because there is no modulation applied. Okay, if we hit, this is orbit number 2 we're playing with as well. So if I tap it here, this is the tone map for that sound. Okay, you can choose the key and the scale. If we go back here to our main page where it's just showing this one orbit and tap on a little tuning fork, you'll see here that it's C major. Let's change it to C minor and then apply to all. Okay, so all of these now are playing 3 notes and they're all in C minor, but we can add notes. And we we can even see the tone map that's been used. So let's take those out again. Well, actually, let's leave that one in. Let's leave it as C minor. So you can control this also. You can control external synths via MIDI out, but like I said, I'm just interested in doing this. So again, we'll tap on this. This is your tone map, the way it's moving now. We can take notes out like this, or we can put them back in. We can change the type, like the pattern. Okay, we can make the notes sort of blend into each other. Now this is much better for the slower sound, for creating more ambient stuff, not for this. And then we've got our tone map, and we can change the tone map. Now if I change it to something like, it's just going to play the same note, and we can hear it better if we do this. So all it's doing now is, well, it's probably just playing a C. And we can control the range. But what we can do is we tap this here, we can change the shape of it. So it's playing different notes, and it will. We can increase the range. We can change the tone map. Or we can just reset it with this here. This is the resolution. So like whatever. Like in any sequencer, you have a resolution. Let's go to the synth section now. If we hit this, excuse me, and we go to this. Oh, hang on a minute, done that wrong. So let's go to the let's go to the orbit, and we want to be on audio, which is the synth. So if I play with the cutoff now, and we have lots of presets as well. This is a full-blown synth, so you know you can go nuts. So let's add a controller now. This is where the orbits come into play. Add a controller. Let's tap the filter. Let's do the filter first because it's the most obvious one to do. So if we tap the filter, you will see that at the moment the filter is being controlled by the actual planet itself, the orbit, the natural orbit, the actual first thing, the big blue square. And it's the moons are switched off; they're not being used as modulators. So if we hit the play, and then we can control the range. And if we hit this first moon, it'll be the same because it's the same circular shape. But if we go to the moons here, you'll see it's faster. So consequently, if we increase the beats of moon 1, it's going to move slower. If we decrease it, the modulation is going to be faster. Okay. Let's leave it on 4, but let's change the shape. Now this strange shape of this moon is now modulating that cutoff frequency, and you can see it tracking around the outside. Okay. So that's very cool. So let's apply Moon 2 to something else. So let's mess around with something, see what happens. Let's do the detune for the second moon. So we'll do this, add controller, and this time we'll choose Moon B here for the controller for the detune. So if we press play, but now it's going full range. But let's make it slower. See how slow it's moving now? And let's also change the shape of this second moon as well. Cool. So now we've got all sorts of cool modulation going on. Now you're not limited to just using 2. You can use those moons or the orbit even to control other parameters as well, and you can do as many of them as you want, so you could actually have it going bonkers, right? But we'll leave it at those 2 for now, so you know that's fine. Okay, so let's see. Press this again. You also have effects for each of the synths. So you have internal effects and you have send effects. Okay, so the internal effects here, no effect applied. So let's apply some effects. Let's go to the mixer. So you can hear what I'm saying, but we're going to apply some internal effects first. Nice delay. And then you also have send effects. So we tap this button, this takes us to our sends. Okay, and you'll see that there is some going to orbit number 1, synth 1, if you like, but it's not switched on. So A is at the moment on reverb. You have reverb, delay, flanger, or you have chorus, delay, reverb, flanger, phaser, chorus. So we'll leave it on A because it's a send effect. Reverb is quite nice. And we'll increase the actual amount going to our second orbit here for A or B. We can also send it to the drums. Right. Let's go back to our main page. Let's stop this one. Let's turn orbit 1 on. Remember, touching anywhere on here will open up the different shapes that you can use. And they'll all be in key. So let's leave that one on that one. But what we can also do is, when we're in this page, we can just pick them up and let's go and have a look at the synth or even the tone map change. Let's add a few extra notes in. We can even put a couple in like we want. Let's have a look at the synth. There's already a controller set for one of the moons, or is it just the planet? Let's set it to orbit moon. The There's also a modulator on this for the pan. Now what will happen is, it's very cool. Let's switch on orbit 2 again. Now this is what I mean about the scenes now. So we've got 2 orbits that we've been playing with so far. You've basically seen what you can do, so you can apply the same stuff to any of them, what we've been doing. But you see where it says scenes now, let's hit this little plus button and we've created scene B, which will be an exact copy of scene A as we left it. So here it is. Now let's switch on orbit 2. And that scene is now saved, but let's add some extra drum patterns in. So if we go to our drums now here, you can see that there's just that kick drum that you could hear. Let's add some hi-hats. Let's just increase the drums for scene C, sorry. Now, the very cool thing about Aphelian and its scenes is it remembers sounds as well as patterns. So now if I wanted to, I could actually change the whole drum kit up for scene 3 and it would still be the original patterns that we programmed in the original drum kit for scenes 1 and 2 so far. So let's change a drum set. Okay, now listen. That's gone back to our original 909 kit. Now, if I hit this, what will happen is, and by the way, this has got an awesome song mode as well, which I'll also show you as well. So you're not just limited to going, well, press scenes, but you can actually program the song mode, and it's really, really, really simple to do it. So, okay, so we're on scene B. Now we've got the actual little loop marker tag button switched on. It will wait till the next loop. And now listen to the drums change as well. Now what's cool is this. We can also change the shape of the tone map. We can adjust the sound. The mix. But listen, what happens? Everything is remembered per scene. I'll even change the sound on that one next. And we haven't even touched orbits 3 and 4. And just to prove it, what even more powerful is, you see this red one, we've got the blue one here, which is just a circle at the moment, and we can tap on this, and then we've got this red one, which is this. Well, let's actually just change out the pattern for that. Let's change it for this, okay? So watch what happens when we play our scene now. So we've got this new pattern playing. which of course is triggering slightly different notes. Watch the shape. It's very, very, very cool. Make another scene. Let's switch on another orbit. If we double tap, right, if we're in our main view here, and we double tap here, it will change the shape, it will randomize the shape. So we'll go into here first, we'll go in and change the sound, and we've got lots of sounds we can play with as well, so let's go with, say, key. Okay, that needs some effects and release maybe. Maybe a bit of detune. Maybe some. Ooh. Knocked it off, sorry. Definitely some internal effects. Let's go to our external effects and let's send the reverb we set up to channel. Let's get an effect now for effect send B. So let's try delay, and then we can apply some delay. Let's give it some amount. Switch 1 and 2 back in. Scene A. We'll do this, we'll just do something silly. Not that. Just limit the note range. But let's add a couple of notes in. It's enough to take in this. Here we go. Let's change the sequence. Let's go to the drums. not only can you change everything, like you can change the orbits, the mix, blah, 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 the sounds and everything, you can also change its appearance per scene. Now, there's not a great deal of musical interest in this, but if it's a visual thing you're after, then this is like, it's a cool way to do it. So again, we can go to we're on CNF, we can go to our eye, and we can choose palette number 10, and we could choose one of the Stargate visualizations, which you might not see these when it's running, but there's a visualization that runs through the back like this. And you can see the moons. But check this out now. The colours are all remembered. Out another thing as well, you can choose any scene and then duplicate it again. So now I've chosen D and duplicated it there. So the next scene after this one, you'll see the colors will all go back, and this will be exactly the same as D. But now we can change up the sounds, we can change up some of the patterns. So let's just quickly have a mess this one up. Orbit 4's not on, so let's do this. Cool. And we can change, right. You can change the speeds of everything. The red one now is really slow. See at the top? They're represented by the bars that move along the top. And it will take the longest one, that will be the time for the scene. See, it's waiting, and now it's going to change. So from D to G. But let's say, okay, well, let's change the sounds. Watch the meters, the levels. Let's change the drum kit for this scene. Okay, so you've seen it. It's ridiculously powerful. You can really go nuts with this thing. And the cool thing is, it's like I said, it's also AUV3, so you can control any other synth you like. Anyway, here's the thing. Let's open up this thing. We'll go now into song mode. Okay, so if we hit song mode now, which is this, here we are presented with a grid that goes on forever, and now also the patterns and scenes that go on forever. I don't even know how many you can add. It's an awful lot. Let's hit plus. All right, and if we hit it again, we've got A for 8 beats. So we're going to have A for 16 beats. Okay, and then it's going to change. We're going to have it change to, let's add another one. Let's tap this. It's going to change. Let's change this to just for 4. We'll do B, and we'll do B for 8 beats this time. And then we'll add this, and we'll go to G, and we'll do G for 16 beats. And we'll add another one, and we'll go, that's on A. We'll go with C now for 16 beats. Okay, then we'll add another one, tap it again, and we'll go D. We'll leave that on 8 beats. Tap it again, do this, go to E, and we'll done this one. We'll run it on 16 beats. Now you can go. I don't even know how many beats you can go up to. Like, let's have a look, shall we? Shall I just? You can do it here anyway. You can. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so times 5 times 128. So it looks like you probably do 128. 16. Right, so, and that's an awful long time for one pattern, you know, before you change. Anyway, let's do this. Let's add another one, and let's this time choose F for 8 beats. We've already got a G, I think. Maybe we can put another G in there anyway, just for fun. Then in this one we'll have a no, it's a G. We'll choose this one, have thing for 16 beats. Let's just times 2. No. Minus 1 for 16 beats. Sorry, we're already there. And for the last one, we'll leave it on A, and then you could create another one and insert after. You can do all sorts of stuff. However, now we are in song mode. So and here it is, song mode. Doing nothing now, doing nothing. Back to the beginning. Oh no, I think that's where we might have ended. Right. So there you go. That's like another. So that's how you set up your scenes, your songs. That's how you manipulate. This is also capable of really cool kind of ambient stuff. What I'm going to do is save. So I'm going to save the session, and I'll save it as I don't know, demo 1. Okay, so we'll just save demo 1, and then I am going to leave it at this, and I'm going to leave this as demo 1, but I might save it again because I'm going to mess it up now. But if I don't save it as something else, I'll be able to record my original demo 1, so I'm not losing anything. Let's go into this, right? So the tempo, let's go and slow the tempo down. Don't know how low we can go, but that's how low we're going. Excuse me. Oh, we can go quite low. It might be enough. Oof, yeah, 20 BPM it'll go to. So now if I play, let me get my back into scene mode now from song mode, of course. Tap outside there to close it, and now it'd be really slow, of course. So what we're going to do now is use the flow notes, because we're going to try and make this super kind of ambient. So we'll go in here and we'll see. Let's go to the synth first and make them. Very lovely now. Everything's moving beautifully with the moons we set up at the beginning. We look. Moon A. Let's increase the range, yeah? Okay. So if we go back to our tone map page, let's apply flow note. So we're about to get really ambient. Actually, it will go normal now, but very slow still, of course. But let's go to our scene here. Let's stop it and go quickly to this scene, right? So so you could say this is a completely new project if you wanted to. Let's go in and look at the synth. Now we're back to normal because I didn't save that. So this is what we made today. So don't forget, if you want to work again on a project, you need to just go back into scene mode, and then you can choose the scenes you want to work on. Like for instance, this one, we could mess scene G up again. Let's control the pan on these bells. Actually, so let's make the moon's pan. Moon A. Guys, thank you very, very much for joining me this evening, where we took a look at Aphelian. Very cool, beautiful, absolutely, almost one of the few perfect touchscreen apps for the iPad, because you can have so much fun. You can control everything. You can spend time and make this play exactly the notes you want in whatever order you want them to play. I guess the fun is just kind of been a bit random with, but you know, your key's always going to be the same. You're never going to be able to mess it up once your key is set. And of course you can just go in, right, if we're inside of the scale mode, we can, you know, do anything we like. So what we got, harmonic minors. You can add notes in. You can control the range of notes that it's going to play as well, or drag it all the way down to just so it's hitting one note. Of course, on something like the this one, we go back and we go into the actual tone map, if we select the tone map that's just circular, right, and then pick just a circular, reset it, it's just going to be playing one note. And we can see that if we look at the tone map, and you're controlling the notes in the range here. Also controlling the direction. You can flip it, but that's not making a lot of difference. You can see its orbit, its moon. Guys, I'll let you say ta-ra to each other for a few minutes, and yeah, I will be back probably tomorrow with more bits and pieces and fun to be had with iOS apps and stuff like that. Okay guys, I'll see you later. Ta-da! Thank you very much as well also for joining me. If you haven't already struck the like, please strike it now. Please consider subscribing, and if you can, please make a super chat or a super sticker. Help support what me and Joe do at the sound test room for you guys. I will see you later. We are entirely supported by the community, so bless you. See you later.